True with Guns America, we are at the 2024 SHOT Show. I'm at the Leupold booth. I've got John Snodgrass here, who is the product line manager for Tactical Scopes. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys just introduced a brand new product line, the Mark IV HD.
Yep.
And we actually did a first look video at Guns America on YouTube, and we kind of walked through the 6 to 24. I got a couple things wrong in that video, like I missaid the name of your new reticle. Yeah. So I want to just touch on a couple things like that before we jump into this and ask you the questions that everybody wants to know. So okay. First of all, tell us the name of your new reticle.
So the new reticle is the PR3 mil, and so basically what we did, we spent a couple of years developing the PR2. Right, and that's been very popular. We spent a lot of time with professional shooters, competition shooters, PRs guys, and designed that reticle. It's a Christmas tree style reticle. We did something a little bit different. We use 1/4 mil increments with a little open space at each 1/4 mil mark, so it really opens up the reticle.
And guys, it's so, like, you can't hold the difference between a 1/10 and a quarter and that quarter, so like it really opens the reticle up, it makes it fast.
Right. A
lot of shooters are really, really liking this.
Yep, so a lot of the guys who they only dial, they don't hold for elevation or wind, you know, some of the more really precision accuracy sports like the bench rest guys or the ELR guys, they wanted something even a little more clean. So we just took the PR2, we got rid of the Christmas tree, but we kept the main horizontal and vertical with the 1/4 mil increments.
Yeah, and it's really open. The glass looks phenomenal. I mean, it just opens everything up, so when you're looking, it just feels like you see more.
Yes.
Okay, so that's corrected. Now let's talk about this Mark IV HD line for just a second. You guys have had a very famous scope in the past called the Mark IV.
Yep.
Military has used it. It's been one of the tried and true optics. They've put it on 50 BMGs, I mean, down to sniper rifles. But this is not that scope.
It is not. This is basically, I mean, you can consider it a Gen 2 of the Mark IV. So the original Mark IV, the legacy scope, that we started that in like 1986 and discontinued those in 2018. We still build some for some legacy contracts just to maintain and keep those contracts going. But yeah, this is a completely different scope. But what we were able to do is cover the same magnification ranges that the legacy Mark IV covered and give it a much better feature set, much better performance, and we were able to keep the price about the same as what the old Mark IV was. So all the benefits of the technology, economy of scale, much better scope, just a new generation of the Mark IV.
Okay, so guys, so the power range on this Mark IV, we covered this in the other video, but we got you here, so let's just go over it really quickly. The magnification here is?
Yep, so it's a 4x zoom. And that's one thing with Leupold that we get asked this question a lot. So in our naming convention, if there's a number like the Mark IV is a 4x zoom, the Mark V is a 5x zoom, Mark III is a 3x zoom. So usually the number in the naming feature of the scope, that's the zoom ratio.
Yep.
So this is a brand new 4x zoom system for us. There's 5 magnification ranges in the family of scopes. So we have a 1 to 4.5, we have a 2.5 to 10, a 4.5 to 18, 6 to 24, and an 8 to 32. Right, so you know, that 1 to 4.5, that's a true 1 power on the bottom end. So with this family of scopes, there's really nothing you can't do with a rifle that we don't have something that'll give you a feature set.
Right, absolutely. So we've got most of those scopes here. This is your 1 to 4.5, and we've got the 2.5 to 10 here. I know a lot of people have been disappointed that the 2.5 to 10 does not have a side focus. Do you want to comment on that, or do you want to stay away from that?
Well, you know, it does not have a side focus, but if people really want something in that power range with a side focus, we do have a Mark V 2 to 10.
Yes, you do, and it's been a great scope. So speaking of the Mark V, look, the housing on these scopes looks very much like a Mark V, which has been a phenomenal performer. In my opinion, it's the best scope you guys have ever made. And this looks just a lot like, I mean, the way things look here, the turrets, just the whole scope itself looks very Mark V-ish.
Well, so that means it's obviously we want to keep a family resemblance, right? We want people to be able to look at this and know that's a Leupold, right? Yep. So the knurling, we use the same sort of knurling. The Mark IIIs, the Mark Vs, now the Mark IV HDs. They all have similar knurlings, similar feature sets, but we want to maintain that family industrial design quality. And it's not just about the look. There's actually a lot of functional features that go along with some of the stuff that we do.
Okay. Okay, so I know that as far as if you want to talk about the differences, I know you guys are using similar optics, similar coatings, but these, because they're a 34 millimeter tube rather than a 35 like the Mark V, don't seem to have quite as much travel inside the turret. Is that fair?
That is fair. We do have, you know, in the 6 to 24 and the 4.5 to 18, we did get lucky. They do have a lot of travel, so they're similar to like the 5 to 25 and the 3.6 to 18. But in the other models in the family, generally speaking, you get less travel than you would in a comparable magnification range in the Mark V.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about this for a second. I feel like the 4.5 to 18, which we have one of those here, is a great hunting sort of power magnification. I personally am not a fan of having the windage exposed on a hunting rifle. I kind of am of the opinion if you need to be dialing wind, you shouldn't be taking the shot in a hunting situation. So I like to have the windage turret covered. This is open and exposed. It's my understanding that you are going to have this as an option to have it covered.
Yep, so we actually do have a 4.5 to 18 model with a capped windage.
Okay.
So one of the things with the Mark IV family and it being so versatile and really at a price point that most people it's attainable for. We kind of figured with all the crossover stuff that's going on, you have the NRL Hunter series out there, you have a lot of people who are gravitating to a front focal plane reticle for hunting. So we have two illuminated SKUs of 4.5 to 18, and they do have capped windage. So we're trying to kind of cover the bases and provide something for everybody with the family of Mark IVs.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. So let's talk about first of all, one of the other things here that's different between this and the Mark V. These are a little bit longer, but they're slightly lighter.
In some cases, so sometimes what you make up for in a little bit longer scope, we lose in glass weight because there may or may not be more glass in the Mark Vs than in the Mark IVs. So it does come out to a wash. They're extremely durable scopes and extremely lightweight. You're going to run anywhere from 20 ounces on the 1 to 4.5 up to 30 ounces on the 8 to 32. So the entire family's pretty svelte compared to a lot of the competitors that are out there.
Okay, well good. So last thing to talk about is when are people going to be able to buy these? So if you're watching this for the first time at SHOT Show here, guys, we're going to hear right now when, how soon.
So these are out at distributors and dealers right now. We did ship quite a few out in December, so there are some out in the market if they're still available, and they're going pretty fast. So they are available now. We're building as many as we can, and I would recommend if you want one, get one on order because the back orders are piling up.
Okay, so guys, obviously Guns America, we have a huge dealer network. You can get on there and look for one. Go check out your local store. Last thing let's talk about is price point. We kind of mentioned this in the first video, but let's just touch on it again. One of the best things that I know about this product line is that basically you can get in, and you've said this to me before, so correct me if I'm wrong. You get what percentage of the features in a Mark V in this Mark IV? So
I would say the Mark IV HD, as far as performance and feature set, you're looking at 85 to 90% of feature set and performance
of the Mark V.
And we're at a price point. We start at $1,000 on the 1 to 4.5, and we top out at $1,600 for the 8 to 32.
Which that includes either the 8 to 32 or like a 4.5 to 14 with illumination.
Yeah, the 4.5 to 14 with illumination is $1,600. Yeah. So $1,500.
So in the past, your illumination's been extremely expensive, and you guys have brought that down in this series of scopes. So I will tell you guys really quickly, if you're a hunter and you haven't figured out mills yet, there are MOA versions available. Correct. And if you're a hunter and you want a slightly thicker first focal plane, you definitely want the illumination because the reticle is just a little bit heavier. Is that fair?
It is, yep.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to set the record straight on the Mark IV or tell the people out there?
So one thing on the illumination, so it is a push button illumination.
Yep.
It's got 8 brightness settings. It does have our motion sensor technology, so if you set it down, it'll shut itself off to save your battery. And it does have a reticle level feature. So all of our illuminated scopes, there's a leveling feature in there that you can turn on or off. It ships with the leveling feature off, but that makes it pretty handy for not only mounting the scope and making sure the scope's level, but for those guys who want that little bit more confidence on those long range shots, you can program that level to come on and it'll blink at 1 degree. When you get to 1 degree, it quits blinking.
Okay. Yep. So I was just going to ask you that question. What's the accuracy level of that? And it's 1 degree.
1 degree.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, guys, we appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. We have a ton of videos coming on the Guns America YouTube channel with SHOT Show coverage, exclusive interviews with people like John here. So make sure you subscribe so that you see those videos as they come out, and we will see you on the next video here. Thanks for watching.